Hello students, today's agenda is to check homework. We'll be working with the triangle angle sum theorem and you will be able to do 7.7. Today students will be able to prove the triangle angle sum theorem and find angle measurements in triangles using that theorem. I actually put the theorem in a separate video. I'm going to link it down below in the description of this video. There you will see the theorem and why it works. Okay, it's very interesting. So it says find the measures using the triangle angle sum theorem. So now that you watched the video already, you learned that all the angles, the three angles in a triangle, will always add to 180 degrees. And so in here it says find the measurement of angle 1. Since you have three angles in here, you have that one of them measures 92 degrees, the other one measures 27 degrees. We're going to look for angle 1. And so by the triangle angle sum theorem, we know that 92 degrees plus 27 degrees plus angle 1 is equals to 180 degrees. Okay, and actually you can put here measurement of angle 1. This is by the triangle angle sum theorem. That's what the theorem says, that when you add all the angles of a triangle, they're equal to 180 degrees. We look for like terms and we add them, which is 92 and 27. That's going to give us 119 plus measurement of angle 1 is equals to 180. This step that we just said, it's either, you can call it combine like terms, or simplify is another easier way to describe it. Remember that simplify means just make it simple, and sometimes it includes distributive property, other times just combine like terms. The next step, since we're adding these two angles, we're going to subtract 119 from both sides, and so we know that measurement of angle 1 is equals to, you borrow 1, 10 minus 9 is 1, 7 minus 1 is 6, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, so the measurement of angle 1 is 61 degrees. And the step that I didn't name is subtraction property. These are my justifications, okay? Number 2. Find the value of each variable. In here we have two different triangles, and when I'm missing only one of the angles, we can actually find or figure out that angle. But on here, if I want to go directly to this triangle, I'm missing two different angles, so I will not be able to find that. So the first thing that I need to do is work on the triangle on the left. So we're going to say that 70 plus 15 plus W is equals to 180. 15 plus 70 plus W. And you can put the variable anywhere, that's fine, as long as it's part of the sum, equals 180. What is the justification? The triangle angle sum theorem. Then after that, what are we going to do? We're going to simplify. That's the next step. And so, and the other one I put simply simplify. And so 15 plus 70 is 85 plus W is equals to 180 degrees. After that, we're going to subtract 85. We subtract 85 from both sides. This cancels. This is the subtraction property. And so W is equals to 95 degrees. So W is 95 degrees. That's our first, that's the value of the first variable. Now let's find the other variables. So let me just separate that in here. And so let's find Y. Remember that we have here the half orange. If you have half orange or half a circle, that's 180 degrees as well. So we already know that W is 95, or we can say W plus Y equals 180 degrees. Now, what's that justification? Is that they are adjacent angles. I call it the half orange or the half circle, but they're adjacent angles. Okay? And adjacent angles, remember that their sum is 180 degrees. Then we know already that W is 95 degrees plus Y is equals to 180. This is just substitution. Meaning that we're going to get the value of W and substitute that value in there. The next step is to eliminate or cancel by subtracting. So subtraction property. And Y is equals to, we borrow 1, it's 5. 17 minus 9 is 8. So Y is 85 degrees. Okay, we need one more. Now we can say that this triangle is going to be 180 degrees. So X plus Y plus 40 is equals to 180 degrees. And I don't have the spacing here, but again, it's because of the triangle angle sum theorem. The same one that this step right here, okay? After that, we're going to do substitution. We're going to get the value that we know, which is Y, and that's the value of Y is 85, and we're going to substitute in there. Substitution. Okay, and so we're going to put X plus, instead of Y, we're going to put 85 plus 40 equals 180. The next step is combine like terms, or as we said before, simplify, right? Simplifying. And so I get X, these are the like terms, we get 125 equals 180. I subtract 125 from both sides, and so X is equals to 55. This was the subtraction property. Subtraction property, okay? And so now we have the value of W is 95, the value of Y is 85, and the value of X is 55 degrees, okay? So you can put them here, 95 degrees, 85, and 55. Okay, you might want to pause the video if you need to copy these steps. In here, it says find the value of the variables again, and you can see that it's including information from previous lessons. These markings means that the lines are parallel, and so it is very important that we recognize the pairs of angles that we can find in parallel lines. Okay, so the first one that we are going to see here is that you have a 15 here and you don't have any more angle measurements. Okay, but you also have these markings in here. Okay, and they don't have a variable, but they are going to help us so much. Whenever you have a triangle, and I'm looking at the bigger triangle, if you have one measurement, and I'm just going to call this A for angle, I have two of those, and that means that this little marking means that they are the same measurement. So that means that you have two of those angles. I'm just going to put A for angles. Okay? And together, angle and 50 is equals to 180. And again, the reason behind that is because of the triangle angle sum theorem. Sum theorem. Okay, and I'm going to subtract 50 from both sides, and I get 2a, this cancels, is equals to 130, and that's because of the subtraction property. After the subtraction, I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and so I'm using right here the division property. Okay, and we get 65. What does that mean? It means that now I have these measurements right here. Okay, and those are going to help us figure out the measurements of the other angles. Okay, the first one that I can find is x, and in here for x, this is the angle, right? And then I also have this measurement right here, and if you remember, if I connect this, they are this is letter C for same side interior angles. And same side interior angles are supplementary. They add up to 180 degrees. So we can say that x plus 65 equals 180. And it's because they are in the same side of the transversal and inside of the parallel lines. Okay? So the reasoning or justification is same side interior angles. Okay. And we subtract from both sides the 65, and x is equals to 115. Okay, and this is using the subtraction property. So we already have x, which is equals to 115 degrees. For y, there are two different ways to do it. The easiest is just to see that these are parallel lines, these are corresponding angles. Remember the little boots or double L, double R, corresponding. Corresponding angles, they have the same measurement, they are congruent. So we can immediately just say that y is equals to 65, and the reasoning, y is equals to 65, and the reasoning is that they are corresponding angles. and you don't have to do any more work. The other way to do it is just to add this, because these are the half orange, meaning supplementary, and so you just add y plus 115 equals 180. Subtract 115 and you will get 65. Okay, here is another example, number 4. And in here we have one missing angle. So again, we just add the 3 measurements. So I'll just put n this time first. N plus 45 plus 80 equals 180. And again, it's because of the triangle angle sum theorem. We combine like terms, so we get n plus 125 equals 180. And that's, you can call it again simplified. That's the second step that we did, right? Simplify, not simply, simplify. Then after that, we're going to subtract 125 from both sides. And it gives us that the value of n is equals to 55 degrees. Okay, so n is equals to 55 degrees. What about m? Well, for m, we are going back to one of those other theorems, and it's about the vertical angles. Okay, we learned in previous lessons that vertical angles are congruent, they're equal to each other. It's like the little roosters who are trying to fight, and these are their beaks, right? So n plus 5 equals 80. I subtract 5 from both sides. Oh, sorry, and these are because, the reasoning is because they are vertical angles. When I subtract 5 from both sides, I get 75 degrees, and this was because of the subtraction property. Okay, so m is 75, but that's not the value of this angle, okay? You substitute that in there. Let's find the value of the angle. 75 plus 5 is equal to 80 degrees. Now you can see that they have the same measurement. Okay, another one that we are depending on the skills of the previous lessons, which is parallel lines. In here again, right, these markings means that the two lines are parallel to each other. And so in here, what does that mean? We only have one measurement of this angle, right? But if you see, we have these angles right here. This is angle x plus 1, but the zeta can just transfer over here. Remember that if we have two parallel lines and this forms one angle all the way over here, then they are congruent. So I can just transfer, I know that if this is x plus 1, then this is also x plus 1. And I can now use that information to put it together with the other angles. Okay, so I'm going to put 120 plus 2x minus 3 plus, I'm just adding the 3 angles, x plus 1, and all together is equals to 180. Why? Because I'm adding the angles of a triangle. So again, it's because of the triangle angle sum theorem. Sum theorem. After that, I'm going to simplify or combine like terms. Okay, so I'm gonna put the constants with the constants and the variables with the variables. And you know that usually the variables go first. So 2x plus x is 3x. 120 minus 3 is 117, plus 1 is 118, equals 180. I subtract 118 from both sides, and I get 3x is equals to, let me do the borrowing here, 10 minus 8 is 2, 7 minus 1 is 6, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 3, and x is equals to, well, the 3 goes into 6 2 times, the 3 goes into 2 0 times, but then you have 2 left, which is 20 and 2/3. Okay, and that's the value of x. This is 20.6666, but it can definitely be as a fraction. Okay, so in here I forgot to write some of the steps. This is subtraction property, and right here we're dividing, so division property. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, this is the last one. In here we have all expressions, and so we have, again, when we add all the angles in a triangle, that is going to be equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so 5x plus 8 plus 6x plus 2 plus 6x is equals to 180 degrees, and the reason is because of the triangle Angle Sum Theorem. We combine like terms or simplify, and so we get 5x plus 6x plus 6x, that's 17x. And then we have 8 plus 2, that's equals to 10, equals 180. After that, we're going to subtract 10 from both sides, and that's by the subtraction property. And we get 17x is equals to 170. After that, the next step is to divide both sides by 17 by the division property. We get that x is equals to 10. Okay, and again, it doesn't ask to substitute, it says just to find the value, but in here, if x is 10, 5 times 10 is 50, plus 8, this is 58. In here, 6 times 10 will be 60 degrees. 6 times 10 is 60, plus 2 is 62 degrees. And if you add in your calculator 62 plus 60 plus 58, you will find out that it is 180 degrees. Now with this, you're able to do 7.7. I hope you have fun, and don't forget to give it a like. Bye-bye.